I think that LSU is going to have a lot of people turn them down before Lane Kiffin becomes the natural candidate. That's not to say he's a bad candidate. LSU could do a lot worse than Lane Kiffin, but I mean, the bare bones truth about Kiffin is he's been a Power 5 head coach. I think this is his 7th season, and truly only one of those seasons was above average type of excellent. He doesn't have the results that you'd think you'd want to go for if when you hired Orgeron, it was because of the way he can build a team and because of the camaraderie and all that stuff. I think Woodward would probably think that the hire should be somebody who's a proven winner, which Kiffin is in a sense and isn't in a sense. But no, I think that if he went to LSU, obviously he'd bring his offense with him, and his offense has worked everywhere because it's not a scheme. He's just a good offensive mind who takes good players and makes them better. And that's something at LSU, with the exception of one really, really excellent year that might have been the best in history, has struggled to do, maximizing the talent of its offensive players. And that's something Kiffin does incredibly well. Obviously he has, I don't know. My instinct is Lane Kiffin might be a good fit at LSU, but there are a lot of people who could be better fits. And when your pockets are as deep as LSU's, why start with Lane? Lane doesn't get the credit he deserves for just pure calculated intelligence. Because I think that anyone who spent any time around Lane Kiffin will tell you that, especially this stage in life, he's an introvert. He's not a guy who wants to be the face of anything. He just wants to coach his football team and win games. But when you look at the moments in the last 2 years at Ole Miss that stand out, the moments you remember of Ole Miss, they were all times when he stood to gain something, whether it was favor with his fan base, ticket sales, recruits. When he has something to gain, he knows exactly what to say and how to leverage that situation to curry favor, whether it was last year when there was a bad call against Auburn and he went on a Twitter rampage about how he wanted to pay his fine in pennies for criticizing the SEC referees, or whether it was even last week with the humor he had about the trash throwing incident at Tennessee. He's always known, if I show this little gold golf ball, then people will be talking about my program. And he's very good at that. And some people might perceive this as a criticism. It absolutely is not. When you have the ability to make people talk about your team, I think last year after the Penny incident, he said the most sincere thing I'd ever heard him say, which was, Ole Miss is probably the most talked about 1-4 team in the country right now. And now that Ole Miss isn't a 1-4 team, they're 5-1 and number 12 in the country. People are still talking about them, and that's kind of the power of the cachet of Lane Kiffin.